Hello, I'm Gavin Geddes, and today we're going to be going over some theory regarding synths for Theory Thursday. Modulators are tools that we can use to modify the sound. Almost anything can be used as a modulator, and modulators work by referencing a value and applying that value to a specific parameter. There's lots of different kinds of modulators. There's envelopes, there's LFOs, there's modulation wheels, there is pitch bend. All these things can be considered modulators. There are things that have values that affect the sound. Let's explore one of the most common modulators used with keyboards, which is the modulation wheel. So one of the most common modulators that we can use is the mod wheel. Believe it or not, mod wheel stands for modulation. You'll notice here that it says there's a percentage from 0 to 100. And that's a really great way to think about modulators in general. It's all a value from 0 to essentially 100. And you define exactly what that means. So one of the most common uses of the mod wheel for modulation is modulating the cutoff frequency of the filter. So there's two different ways we can do this. We can right click and we can select mod source and then choose mod wheel. Or we can also go to the matrix and go to a source and select mod wheel. And then for the destination, we can select the filter cutoff. So what did we just do? You can see here, I'm moving the mod wheel up and down. It's not doing anything, right? Or it didn't sound like it did anything. Well, what we need to do is we need to tell it the amount that it is going to affect it. Now with this, it's based on up to 100 or negative 100. So what does that mean? Well, it's affecting the value of the filter cutoff. So if we go back here, you could say that going back this way down is negative and going up this way is positive. So if it was at the center here, and you were to say negative 100, it would go all the way down. So check this out. Which means, and this is the kind of weird thing about modulators, that as you push this up, the cutoff is going to go down. And we'll check it here as well. Just watch this. Okay, so that's great, but what if we want it, as we turn up the mod wheel, that it actually opens it up? So the best way to do that is push it the opposite direction. Now, we are starting from here. The sound, I believe, is originally right here. So now, when we move the mod wheel, and there you go. That's a really great way to add growth or a forward momentum to any sort of sounds. You can do it with bass synths like this, or you can do it with pads or really anything. And it just kind of, as it brightens, it can really expand your sound in a really fun way that can bring a lot of movement. So let's look at a different instance of this exact principle, okay? But instead of modulating the cutoff, what we're going to do is actually modulate the sort of spread of the tuning of the oscillators. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's go here. Let's turn on both oscillators. Okay. Sort of ugly sound, whatever. Let's throw on the filter. Okay, let's add some detune or some unison and then turn the detune down. Okay, and let's just do a couple. Okay, so now that we have this set up, let's go to the matrix and take the mod wheel as source, and let's do it again here. So we're going to modulate two things with the mod wheel, and both of them are going to be routing to the fine tune of both oscillators. So A fine and B fine. Okay, so right now it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything because we need to move this. Now, when we move this, what's going to happen is the value is offset by this percentage here. So wherever we move this fader, this is 100%. Does that make sense? So if I do this, right? So the way that we can kind of create this uneasy effect is actually we move these in opposite directions. So as you move the fader or the modulator up, it'll be detuned. That's a really cool effect. A way to make things go out of control pretty quickly is by adding the mod wheel for two different sources and then having it affected differently as you push the mod wheel up. So let's move on to our final example of application for how we can use the modulation wheel. One thing that's pretty common is to route it to the vibrato of an instrument. Now, SERUM doesn't have a built-in vibrato, so it's kind of something you have to create. I already have an LFO here that has the sine wave assigned to it. We're going to grab that LFO, and we'll go over this a little bit later, and then we'll send it to the fine of A and fine of B. Okay, so there we have a vibrato, and we can use the mod wheel so that's another way we can apply it, and it's all here through the auxiliary source. It's the same idea as having it from here, but instead we're affecting the amount of these parameters. So that's what that is all about. It's a very effective way to get some nice vibrato that's right in there. So we've gone over a few applications of the modulation wheel. I'd recommend messing around with the matrix and just applying the mod wheel to various parameters. You'll learn a lot doing that and how they can be applied. Thanks for watching. If you found any of this useful or it sort of helped you through something with learning synths, then please give a subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out a lot more of these videos. I really want to make synth design accessible to everyone, which is why I'm working with SERUM in particular. And if you have any other recommendations for what I should make a video on next, something that's confusing you about SERUM or how to get a certain sound or a certain technique, please leave a comment below. I'd be happy to look over it. But yeah, thanks for watching, y'all.